How's it going, YouTubers? It's Kale here. I was wanting to show you this little generator project I built. So a guy I worked with had this little 10 horsepower Tecumseh motor that came off of a generator. And he said the generator had went bad. The motor's still good. He asked me how much I'd give for it. I was like, I don't know, 50 bucks. So I gave him 50 bucks for it. But so I decided to build a 12 volt DC alternator generator setup. A lot cheaper than replacing the generator, because all you got to do is get an inverter. An alternator inverter is both cheaper than a generator. So I built it just thinking about it and putting it together and saying if this will fit, that'll fit, what'll fit. I had to get a tapered shaft adapter because the shaft on this Tecumseh motor is tapered for mainly using for like pressure washers, generators. I think some of them might have been on snow blowers too, but anyway. So I ordered this adapter. It's like 60 some dollars. Got it on eBay. I was trying to figure out what size pulley I would need. And this is a GM alternator. It's a 10SI 100 amp. I thought about it and I said, well, I want this thing to idle as low as I can get it to save fuel and still turn the alternator at enough RPMs to where it's generating what it's supposed to. So I went with an 8-inch pulley right here, this one, and figured I'd go with 1/2-inch wide top pulley, 1/2-inch wide belt. It's a 4L belt, and found some brackets. It's just some angle steel with holes pre-drilled in it, and kind of drilled my own holes, cut on it a little bit to make my own bracket. And so it mounted up to the motor, top and bottom, no problem. So when I got this alternator on eBay, it's a KAX brand. The description didn't say what size pulley came on it, and that's not the pulley that came on it. I had to order a pulley because the pulley that came on it was not wide enough. It was made for like a 3/8 inch wide belt, so the 1/2-inch wide belt would fly off of it. It didn't work. Piece of junk. Anyway, some of this stuff came from a riding lawnmower, like that spring there. The spring puts tension on the alternator. That keeps the belt tight and tighten the bolts up, of course. And it took me a while to figure out my adjustments. You know, the alternator is supposed to be like flush mount, like surface mount. It's supposed to mount right here, so I had to make my own little sleeve right here so it'll stick out far enough to line up with the pulley on the front. So I took an old socket and just cut it to where I wanted it to fit, put it in there, and it works pretty good. Found this gas tank on eBay. It was like $35. I think this pulley was like $17, $18, $65, $70 for the alternator. I happen to have a lawnmower battery sitting here. It's fairly new, got it on clearance, so I just hooked it up for the time being. And those cables came off of an old junk rod mower that I had that somebody had put on there previously, and I just wanted to show y'all, you know, how I build it. Like this axle here to roll it around came off of sorry, camera problems, technical difficulties. I bought it on eBay too. It works, but it's cheap, and somebody had broke the battery compartment on it, so the lid that holds the battery in, I've had to tape it on. Sometimes it comes loose, but anyway, this axle came off of a hand truck, I'm pretty sure. It was in this place when we moved in. It was just laying there. It was just the axle and the two wheels laying there, nothing else. And so I kept it, figured I'd use it one day, and sure enough, I wound up using it. And I remember the old antennas that had a rotary on them? You could turn the dial and it would adjust the old TV antenna. It would turn it. So I found one of those, and the brackets that mounted one of those to a pole is what I used for U-bolts to hold the axle on there. So 2x4, two 2x6s, all pressure treated. This old tire off of an old lawnmower. It was a bad tire, so I cut it to fit and put the motor on it for like a vibration, you know, like a motor mount. rubber. Anyway, it works. Helps it a little bit. It had to run on full choke whenever I first got it. The motor here. I cleaned it, it didn't work too well, so I just went ahead and ordered another one. Got that on eBay too. It was like $10. You can't beat it. You might as well just get you a cheaper carburetor. Just make sure that a few things on it are the same before you get it. Make sure that it looks the same, it's got the same sizes. When you get it, you might want to look inside of it, make sure nothing's loose and everything's tight, and get the same size jets and all that. But yeah, $10, can't beat it. Throw it on there, works fine. But anyway, so it works out pretty good. So I wanted some kind of indicator, like an alternator light, battery light indicator, just like on the dash of your car. So what I done was I found this light right here came off of an old alternator, or well, I think it was actually like a charging light for the lawnmower I had. It's an old junky lawnmower, just like the spring that holds the tension on the alternator. This light came off the same one. So ordered some LEDs. That's cheap, for like $5. Use that for this one. Anyway, this lets you know that the alternator isn't charging. This lets you know that you've turned the alternator on, but it's a single wire alternator, like a one wire alternator. Kind of self-exciting, but anyway. So what I done was I put a diode in the line for this light right here. So power comes up to this switch, then it comes out of the switch into a diode, and the diode, then it runs into the light here, the hot side, positive side, and then you got the ground side of, you know, the bulb. The ground side goes down to the white wire on the alternator. What it is when the alternator is not spinning, it creates a ground, but when it starts spinning and it's actually charging like it's supposed to, it creates a positive. So if you got two positives on a light bulb, it's going to go, it'll cut off. So it lets you know that your alternator's not charging or something's not right. It worked. Tickled with that, and ordered the diodes on eBay for like $10. No, it was like $5 for 10 of them or something. It was pretty cheap, little 10 amp diodes. But I just wanted you to check out this whole project I built. So I built it because, well, one, I can jump a car off with it, no problem. Two, I can charge a battery bank with it, like for a solar system, which I'm working on. Pretty good sized battery bank. You want to have like 4 deep cycle batteries, the big ones that you would put in like a dump truck or a boat, you know, marine type. I want the deep cycle lead acid batteries, and then I've got 4 100 amp hour sealed lead acid batteries, and they weigh like 60 pounds a piece too, so we'll have a good battery bank. I believe it'll work. And I've got like 3 or 4 power inverters at 2,000 watts a piece. I started out with 4 215 watt solar panels just for the time being, so I haven't got it all set up yet. I've just been working on it little by little, but you'll get the hang of knowing more about it, and I'll get the hang of knowing how to do it whenever I decide to get off my butt and do it, because well, sometimes it rains, sometimes I don't feel good, you know, sometimes I'm waiting on parts. Like ordered some wires, some 1/0 gauge wire. I needed like 30 foot of it, and so I wound up ordering 25 foot of red, 25 foot of black from this company on eBay, and you know, usually have good, you know, good service out of sellers on eBay, but this time it didn't. I waited 2 weeks, it didn't show up. I wound up having to get a refund. I had to order for somebody else. I'm still waiting on the wires before I can even connect the battery bank up. So it's just something to do, the project, but eventually it'll save on the power bill when I'm done. I was going to show you that it works. So we'll go ahead and look, it's not charging. Okay, we'll put the switch on the motor right here and choke it, start it up. Might be choked too much. Yeah, there we go. Instead of turn the choke off. So anyway, it immediately goes off. You can watch this light. Whenever I cut it off, the light will come on and show me it's not working. See? Works just fine. And then you cut everything off when you're done. Cut the fuel off. It's supposed to be a 5-gallon fuel tank. Came on a lot of generators. And I just had to build my own stand and everything. Took a little while, but yeah, I think it'll work. Anyway. Click like, subscribe if you want to learn anything about it. Maybe send me some messages and I'll answer some questions. Yeah, that's it for today.